YouTube? Zodiacs, what's good? It's your boy Cash the Gemini. I am back with another video. Back with the very first annual Spooktacular horror special featuring none other than Stieven the Collector. How are you doing today, Stieven?
I'm very good, thank you. How about you?
I'm actually not too bad, man. This is actually my favorite time of the year. You know, that fall time where the leaves start changing and TV shows start actually being about nothing but horror, you know?
That is true.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
time here in Belgium where this month, like every weekend, they would do like a Halloween special thing, and they don't anymore.
Yeah, I could see certain stuff kind of changing, with the time, but you know, you got to keep Halloween alive, man. You got to keep it alive some way, somehow. Um, it's like I said, it's for me, it's my favorite time of the year. I love the movies. I love the 31 Days of Halloween. I love, the classics that they show, even like the old ones, like Pumpkinhead. You know what I'm saying?
Pumpkin, that's great.
Yeah. It's crazy because like the whole movie is really based around like these bikers who, I mean, I can't even say it's a spoiler, but it's based about these bikers who pretty much have an accident with the main character's son, and yeah, you guys should know it from there. But what's good, Vein 21? Rome, I see you in the house, man. I appreciate both you guys being here. Um, let me ask you this, Stephen. What is your favorite horror villain of all time? Favorite
Ah,
horror character?
you're starting off easy. Yeah. Um, it's got to be Jason or Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Mm,
Wow. Do
yeah.
do you really consider Pinhead a horror character? Like I know he is, but like the movie really isn't based around him. Like it's really based around the characters that they're trapping in like this Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of different. You know what I mean?
True, but I think maybe not in the first one, but I think starting the third one, where he comes to Earth basically and just, yeah, I mean, he kills a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think from that moment on, he really became an actual villain. Uh,
Gotcha.
but yeah, in the first, I think actually in the first one, the stepmom is the villain, in my opinion. She
Yeah.
kills
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
guys for to get Frank back. So I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Which is the one where where they were killing people to feed the husband? Is that the same one you're talking about?
that's the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the husband.
It was like a
It's the
guy. Remember
brother.
he was like coming from the basement or something? Like I haven't seen it in a while. Something like the stairwell. Like he was like nothing but like muscle tissue and stuff. And he had to like kind
Yeah,
of
it's the
yeah.
brother.
Yeah. That was
But
my favorite one right there. Yep.
I mean, the fact that that movie got made is actually pretty great in the sense that first of all, it was Clive Barker himself who directed
Yep.
it. That doesn't happen a lot. That the author of the book is actually in charge of the movie itself,
Right.
and the budget wasn't that big either.
It
So I
wasn't.
mean, they did a lot of good special effects and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So
What's good, Edwin? Appreciate you being here, man. Um, so let me direct it to this. I would assume everyone is familiar with one of the most popular horror authors of all time, Stephen King. Are you familiar with Stephen King, Stephen?
given the fact that I probably read 40 of his books, I would say so.
Yeah,
Um,
he
yeah,
he he has a
and
lot of good stuff. Have you checked out that one? It's called The Outsiders.
I have seen the show. Yeah,
Oh man, that show was amazing, dude.
yeah.
Like, I hope they do a season two.
I don't actually think they will because it was. I haven't. That's the one that I actually haven't read because I made the mistake of seeing the show and then I want to
Yep.
just
Going,
keep it
gotta go
away
in
for a
reverse.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
funny thing
good,
is
man.
that in my opinion, his best book is never turned into a movie.
What book is that?
Insomnia.
I haven't read that one.
That is just a fantastic read.
Mm. So, what do you find better, his books or his movie interpretations?
In modern times, the movies are great. The sad part is that there was a time where every book just had to be turned into a movie, and
When you
there's
say
a
every
lot of
book,
bad ones.
do you mean like Silver Bullet or like? Because that was
Well,
good.
yeah, things like yeah, and then that's but just stuff like The Stand. I didn't like how they did The Stand,
Hmm.
um, and even it, considering maybe of course Tim Curry is a legend in that, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's pretty much it. If you compare it to the new one,
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I actually like the classic more than the new one, but I see why the new one, why they broke it up into two parts. Was good, solid similar. So I like the original one better. I thought the original one to me was more scary, especially because I was younger at that point. It was kind of like
it's
I
my
don't know. It
first
was
move
just
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. It was one like everyone was scared of clowns, dude. Everyone was scared of clowns.
but a lot of people still are. It's an actual phobia, so yeah, it plays in on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely, man. What's good? We got Jerry. We got Jerry in the house. Appreciate you being here. So I wanna direct it to this because this is something that I've been thinking for a while, right? We have Leatherface, Chucky, Jeepers Creepers, Ghostface. I mean, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. Even some like more B-list horror, horror characters, or even like like the Texas Sundance film festivals, to where like they'll never really be big, but um, what horror movies do you tend to like more? Like, do you tend to like more of the mainstream ones, or like those straight to Netflix type movies?
I often go with the more B type movies.
Same here,
Like my
dude. No,
f-
not even
my
gonna lie. Same
favorite
here.
my favorite genre or subgenre in horror is found footage.
Mm,
I mean, it to me, if I'm entertained, I'm entertained. That's
yeah.
basically why I watch horror films. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty freaking intelligent
What's
horror
up,
films
John?
out there, but you know,
Yeah.
um,
Is this considered horror to you? Like, where you have like the group of four girls or the group of four guys, they're haven't seen each other since college. They're going on that classic, road trip or whatever. And obviously, we know there's some like, I don't know, Indian burial ground or some crap like that. Is that considered horror to you? Because I like those kind myself.
yeah, I mean, that's what 80% of all slasher films.
Yeah.
Stuff like Wrong Turn. Yeah, I mean that's
Dude, Wrong Turn is like genius. Like, I don't know why, but it's just genius to me. You know what I mean? And those people are like freaky. It is just, I don't know. That movie was just genius to me. Like Wrong Turn and what's the other one? The Hills
Hills
Have
Have Eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that actually had a good remake.
Hmm. Yep.
Funny enough, but the problem with Wrong Turn is that I think there are what 9 movies by now.
Really, because the last one I saw was 2015. That was at seven at that point. I know they just
Seven,
recently made a
yeah,
new
7,
one.
which
It's
has
a lot,
nothing to do
man.
with.
It's a lot.
It's like one more franchise beaten into the dust.
Yeah.
But again,
So
I watch them all because it's entertainment.
yeah. So is there? So tell me a little bit about this. What's good, Arch? Appreciate you being here. So what you're in Belgium? Is that right?
Sorry.
You're in Belgium. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is there any sort of like folklore there in Belgium? Any sort of like scary stories that like the elders have passed down from generation to generation? If there is, If you can think of one or even like a scary location that people have maybe talked about, tell us a little bit about that.
I don't think we actually have folklore as far as I
Really?
know, because I think the reason for that is that Belgium itself doesn't really have a true identity.
Wow.
Because I mean, if you look at the history of Belgium, it's basically been one occupation after another. And every occupation left some of their culture here. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
uh, I don't know.
That's
I think a lot of it has to do because first of all, it's not a big country,
yeah.
and the only
Yeah.
scary place that I can think of is like we have an abandoned amusement park. So
Oh
like basically,
word.
yeah, like a theme park that's just gone out of business, and it obviously it costs a lot of money to tear
Hmm.
down all those things. So you just left it there. So now if you go, there was one photographer who went there and he took pictures of it, and it's just like I do not want to be there after dark because it's all these like happy faces on the little cars, and there's just the paint is just you know basically almost gone or partially gone, and that looks creepy.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Like
dude.
if you can do a movie festival there, yeah, that would actually be kind of great. They could use it for that.
Right. So I'm gonna share the screen because I just want to show you this, man. What's good, Dennis Perez? Appreciate you being here. Um, I'm gonna show you this. I haven't been on it personally myself, but just check this out right here. So this right here is called Seven Sisters Road, right?
Hmm.
And you see the lady and the crew right here.
Hmm.
So this road. It's not in like I'm in Omaha, Nebraska myself. It's on like a little town over, and so my sister was riding on this road with her friends, and their car all of a sudden just stopped. Now this is a brand new car, oil change, everything's fine. So there's nothing wrong with the car that should be wrong. They got it from a reputable place, so nothing wrong there. And all of a sudden like the radio flickered and then the car just stopped, and they were stuck there for about 30 minutes trying to get the car going. um it was like middle of the day too, like one, it wasn't like at nighttime, stuff like that, but it was just like, and there's just so many stories of like people who, there's very few people who are actually able to get through this road without anything happening, whether it's day or night. um yeah, I mean, it's called Seven Sisters Road and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's pretty creepy to me. Just hearing the stories there. And supposedly the folklore is there was like little girls or something like that who had died there from like some crazy like farmer or just something like that. Um and I don't know, it was just kind of creepy, man. But yeah, it's just like everybody goes there, they just feel like kind of creeped out and scared and stuff. And happened in Nebraska, as you can see right here. So I just find that kind of creepy, dude.
See, that kind of stuff freaks me out because
Yeah, dude. Just
I I listen to a lot of like there's whole YouTube channels who do nothing but bring these stories from either folklore or just things like Reddit or whatever, and
yeah,
people are like, oh, it's all fake, and I'm like, even if 1% is true, that's one
mhm.
percent too many.
Hey, man, you never know what's real or fake, man. Hey, what's good, Danny Lee? Appreciate you being in the house, man.
It's Yeah, I listen to a lot of those things, and
Hmm.
it never fails to creep me out.
Yeah, it never does, man. And there's a good podcast that if you or anyone in the chat is looking forward to, and it's called Jim Harold's Campfire. And people call in and they tell their real life experiences, whether it's them or maybe a grandmother or cousin or whatever like that, of things that happen. And some of the episodes are kind of like expected, but there are a few that are like holy crap, like that's crazy that that happened or that you had to experience that. And yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. I know this is kind of different than like statue talks and stuff like that, but do appreciate everybody being here. Just thought it'd be something different during the holiday time of the year. So ain't gonna keep you guys too long. Probably only be about an hour show. Um, but yeah, man, just wanted to talk all things horror with Stephen the Collector here. So Stephen, if there is any sort of monster or um, anything that you feel like could actually be real out of all the things that we have, and not talking about no like freaking like Leatherface based off of a real person, but like if there's anything that you think could actually be out there, what is it like Bigfoot, for example?
Well, the world's a big place, and there are
Big enough
still
for
some.
Bigfoot.
I mean, there are still some places that have pretty much virtually been undiscovered.
Hmm.
And I mean, if you have something that lives in the woods its entire life, then I would imagine it's quite capable of evading the few people that come into those woods. So, I mean, my one answer to that has always been ghosts.
Ghost, yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's a ghost story for you, right? I'll tell you this ghost story. So, um, my buddy's dad, there was a bedroom and there was like stairs leading up to the bedroom, right? And he would say he'd tuck his kids in bed, get them to sleep and whatnot. His wife would go to bed, and he was the last one to go to sleep. And he would say he could hear like creaking going up the stairs and stuff like that. And then as he would like open up his eyes, there'd be this little boy in like 1900 clothing that would be at the edge of his bed. And he said it happened like 3 times within that month, and it would just scare the living crap out of him. Of like, what the hell, you know what I mean? And I just find that kind of like, I don't know what I would ever do if like I experienced something like that myself. Of like, do I run? Am I paralyzed to where, you know what I mean? I'm not able to move. And to answer this whole like Jaws thing in the chat, man, I love Jaws, so I'm not. There will be no Jaws slander. Let me say that right now. There will be no Jaws slander. But it it is not horror. That is sci-fi, dude. That is in the sci-fi category. It has to be, right? Like seriously.
Um, I don't know if you actually know this, but like every year there's like these shark movies that are being released, these B movies. I don't know if you've seen any of it.
I think the last one I saw was where that chick was like stuck on that thing right by the shore. She couldn't get to the like, damn, what the hell was that? The Shallows, it was called. The Shallow, I think.
Oh yeah, with Blake Lively.
Yeah, yeah. That was the
No, but
last
like
shark movie I saw.
it's like every year they bring out these like amazing titles like land sharks and avalanche sharks and snow sharks, and I eat that shit up like candy, man. It's just ah, it's
Um,
so bad and it's so entertaining at the same time. It's amazing. I love how they come up with that stuff.
yeah. Steven is in Belgium, Dennis Perez. And Arch says, I often break into people's houses dressed in very old clothes and chains. Danny replies, Arch broke into my house butt naked. This guy, Danny. So,
This episode very revealing.
you know what's crazy? Yeah, man. This is not anything to do with like Asian people, but I'm sorry, Danny, but because you're Asian, it came to my mind, bro. Came to mind. I can lie. The Grudge, man. How would you rate The Grudge? Like when I very first saw The Grudge, I was like, man, this crap is creepy, and I was probably 12, maybe. Crazy to think that it was that long ago, but I was about 12, and Jumbo,
You
baby, Jumbo, man, calm down, Danny. But I was about 12 when The Grudge came out, and it's just like so
you
creepy,
talking
dude.
about the original or the Sarah Michelle Gellar one?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah,
Yep, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
that was that was actually a pretty good version.
Yeah,
Um,
it was different at that time. I mean, for me anyway, it was different. Because it wasn't a
I've
slasher.
I've never really found the Grudge to be that scary, even the original one.
Hmm.
And because if you go for agent movies, they're like a hell of a lot more scary than that one. The
Yeah.
original Ring is pretty.
Hey, rings were creepy as shit, dude.
Mhm.
That was creepy, man. That was creepy. Yeah.
One of the actually one of the more modern films that I watched was a movie called The Wailing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that
I've
one.
heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's a long one. I think it's about like at least 2 hours and a half long. But it's so like if anybody ever doubts that a horror film can be art, that
Uh-huh.
one is art. The way it's
Yeah.
shot, the way it's beautiful and horrifying at the same time. But
Yeah. I would probably have to say one of the best horror films. I'm gonna say Insidious. Not any particular number, but just the whole franchise. To me, it was the one. Like I was watching it on my phone. I was watching them on my phone, and the one there was this part where like something was running through the house in the daytime because it happened in the daytime in the movie, and when I was watching it, it was in the daytime. I literally picked up my phone, walked outside my grandma's house, and finished the movie outside because I was like, nah, man. Not even gonna lie. I literally walked outside and finished the movie outside. Freak
because
that.
you'll be safe outside,
Hey, I'll be
obviously.
safe outside. Yeah, obviously, it's a whole. Hey, man, Bigfoot is. If there's enough space for Bigfoot and me outside, I'll be safe outside.
That's true. Considering you're close to the Seven Sister Road, I mean that's
You
extremely
know,
safe.
I'm,
The
I'll
one
take my
time
chances with the Seven Sisters.
I've I think I've actually been freaked out once during a movie, like actually freaked out. The problem is I couldn't get away. I normally don't really go to the cinema to watch horror films because you know, I rather watch
Mm,
it at home. But
yeah,
I had a chance to watch Blair Witch Project in the cinema.
when it
Now,
first came out.
when it first came out, and this was 1999, and nobody had heard of that movie. This was the first couple of weeks when it was released in Belgium. It wasn't really big, you know,
Yeah,
and so there was like 20 people in the theaters, and a lot of the freaky stuff happens during the night. So basically, there's only darkness around you, and you don't see anybody. Normally, if you are in a full theater, then you see people around you.
yeah.
This was not the case.
Hmm.
That freaked me out. First of all, because that movie is one of the few movies I consider to be scary as hell. I'm never going camping in the woods, ever. It's as simple as that. So yeah, that movie that freaked me out.
Yeah, man. I'm I'm trying to think of other movies and stuff like that that actually have happened. Um, you know the guy who plays in the Conjuring movies. He also was
Hmm.
in the Insidious movie.
Yeah.
Is there a specific is there a specific character that you like acting in these movies? Because I think he's one. Like when I see his face, I specifically think horror.
Well,
Um,
well, I
you
love The
know.
Conjuring.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Conjuring 2 is one of my favorite
That's
because
the
I've
one where they're
actually,
in like Europe, right?
yeah, that's the Enfield
Man,
Poltergeist.
that one was creepy as crap when the dog or Christmas tree or whatever the hell turned into like a living thing. I'm like, what the freak is going on here?
And some of that stuff supposedly actually happened. So I mean,
Folklore, Arch. Folklore. This is all folklore, the Blair Witch.
the thing is that what's so brilliant about the Blair Witch, in my opinion, is that so many people thought it was real. They
Mm,
marketed that thing so brilliantly because they made a documentary about the Blair Witch before they released the Blair Witch Project.
but I mean, think about how it was filmed. The way it was filmed, you would think somebody out their house just started shooting a movie. So that's why, like, I remember growing up thinking, like, yo, what happened to those people? You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
like, because it was shot with like a camcorder, basically.
Well, yeah, they gave him a camera, they gave him provisions, and they said, "Here you go. Here's a map. Shoot." And then the directors during the night would, well, kind of
Hmm.
mess with them.
Hey, so this is a good one for you. I've never heard of this right here, but Rome says that no one here remembers Tourist Trap.
Oh, I remember it.
What's that movie about?
Well, I think most people remember the cover because it's a very weird cover.
Yeah, like I'm actually googling it right now because like I've never even. Oh shit! Wow. Okay, my bad.
I think
Yeah, it's creepy.
I think Rob Zombie took a bit of inspiration from that for his House of a Thousand Corpses thing. If I have to be
Yeah.
honest.
Let's see here. Here you guys go. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a
that'll give you nightmares.
So what the hell is this about? Like mannequins are
Hmm.
killing people?
It's a haunted mannequin in a museum, and it's like you
Hold
said
on.
in your car.
What'd you say? Like,
Yeah, it's a haunted mannequin. The car breaks down. It's a museum. You know, sort of like Madame Tussauds, kind of.
so it's like House of Wax, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
I gotta check this out. Oh hell no. Yeah, I gotta
Mhm.
check this out. I gotta check this out. This looks like something I gotta check out. I gotta check this out, man. Freak it, dude.
Rome knows what's up.
Let's
Man has taste.
yeah, we'll just I'll just let the trailer play in the background.
It's
Um,
as you can tell, it's a pretty old one, and it's on a budget, but
yeah, Tourist Trap. Dude, I mean, we got to talk about this real quick here. We need to get more ladies showing their parts in scary movies. I'm sorry to say it, but that was a classic time. The sexy chick with the woman parts.
problem with that is that horror films got a really bad name because of that. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's what it's all about," and it's like, well, no, but it happens.
What the frick? My bad. He jumps out the window. What the
What will
hell,
you do?
dude? I mean, yeah, I jump out the window too, man. Oh man, this is crazy, dude. This is okay. So, what do you think about the chick always falling down in the old school horror flicks? That's like a classic part. She has to
That's
fall
a trope.
down.
It's a classic trope, indeed. That and obviously stop and look back because that doesn't lose you valuable time at all. Um, I mean,
Oh hell no, this is creepy, dude. This is just like this doesn't look scary to me. I bet at the time it was. It just looks really creepy, dude. It just looks really creepy.
it
Oh
does.
man.
I mean, it's the 70s, I think
Hmm.
70s or 80s, late 70s at least. Um,
Joe has a good comment. I refuse to leave the country because of Hostel. Those are pretty cool movies. Definitely really intense. But I'll tell you what I think. Hostel kind of led to some different movies that came out. What do you think about the Human Centipede?
Overrated.
Really?
Hmm.
You don't think that attaching
Well,
multiple
the idea
people
obviously is
to each other?
extremely creepy and psychotic, but I, I didn't. there's so many worse movies out there in terms of violence and gore, and I just think that movie got a little bit too much press for being an extremely bad movie.
Yeah.
Um, but I could think of a couple of movies that are way worse.
Oh yeah. Witchboard, huh? 1986.
There's three of them, I think.
Three of them.
Yeah,
Witchboard. Never heard of Witchboard. Was thinking of
Luigi.
Wishmaster. Yeah, that movie actually wasn't scary to me. That one that I saw.
So there's like what 20,000 movies named Luigi something these
Hmm.
days. So it's like Amityville.
Yeah. Ouija wasn't too bad. It was definitely kind of weird and different. Those movies don't really scare me that much. I would
Here's
probably have. What's up?
here's a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead,
Because
man.
you're the one asking all the questions. I gotta get something in there as well. What do you think about remakes in general? Not specific ones, just in general.
Remakes, huh? Now I'm sounding like John, the everyday collector, man. I don't mind a remake. So for example, here's a good example. So, Rodney, um, Rodney from DCX had made a point about the Michael Myers movies, that he feels like they've basically killed Michael, like they've like diminished his lore, so to say. Um,
Mhm.
I can get what he's saying because he's older than me. So he grew up when the very first one came out. So he's seen them live from start to finish. So I
Mhm.
can see and understand his point of view. But from my point of view, being younger, like the very first one that I seen at that time was Halloween H2O. And then moving
Ooh.
forward, all the older ones I had to rewatch, because I wasn't born at that time.
Mhm.
um, I don't mind them making Michael. I feel like Michael Myers and Freddy are ones you can keep doing. I don't like how they've remade Chucky over and over. However, the Chucky TV show that just come out, I like that interpretation of the character. There's certain characters I don't feel like you can redo over and over. Like with the Jigsaw, aka Billy the Puppet. I liked how every Halloween you were pretty much getting a new Saw. It was their thing, so I thought it was
Mhm.
okay. Um, but I guess if that answers it, like Freddy would be one I'd like to see remade again.
I
Possibly. I'm trying to
the
think, man,
thing
because like it's a tough question, man.
the
It's
thing the
character
thing
based.
I always say about remakes is, or basically I just ask a person like, did you grow up with the original? If he says yes, or if she says yes, I'm like, then the remake is not for you
Yeah, yeah.
because they're remaking it for a new audience. That doesn't
How
mean the remake's going to be good.
However, I will say this: my favorite Halloween movie is, I believe it's the second one when he's in the Lori and, and they're in the hospital with all, and he's killing
Hmm.
all the hospitals.
Hmm.
That's my favorite one, and I wasn't born at that time, but that's my favorite one.
Well, if you compare it to the movies now, they, like you said, the
Hmm.
lore, they're just creating a whole new mythology out of it,
I mean,
which you
right?
kind of
Yeah,
did with Jason as well as the movies went on. I mean, I don't mind that actually because I mean, eventually you can only do the same story so many times. It's like the same thing, like you said, with Jigsaw. I mean, eventually, after what, movie three wasn't really Jigsaw anymore, you know?
yeah. I agree with that one completely. I mean, for me, the whole idea of, kind of holding people accountable, because a lot of those people are kind of like, why are we here? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of messed up, but he wanted to give people second chances and give them appreciation of life. That was the whole thing based off of a terminal illness that he had going on. So it's kind of messed up because it's like, whatever's going on in his life isn't really have anything to do with them. However, I do get the premise of the movie. I thought the Danny Glover one was pretty cool though.
Hmm. But like the one remake I would love to see burned at the stake is the remake of The Thing.
I was actually gonna say that.
Do not remake The Thing.
You don't think so?
No, that's blasphemy.
I think the
That's
thing's a
well,
classic, bro.
which is kind of ironic because The Thing itself is a remake of an '50s movie, but that's technicalities, I suppose.
Okay, so you're saying the remake shouldn't be remade. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's such a classic. You don't touch that. I mean,
So
how
the
many of them?
original
Like,
the
wasn't that
original
good?
wasn't a classic, but the remake
No.
is a classic.
Hmm. Sadly, yeah. But
Okay.
I don't. But I mean, even today, that movie's it still grosses people out, and I love it.
No, I get it. It was definitely a crazy movie that when I saw it myself and I was kind of like, what the hell is going? What like, just the whole idea of it. I thought was
Just the
pretty
fact that you're
crazy, man.
isolated. You're just
Y-
isolated there. You
Yep,
can't go anywhere, and
can
that
go
thing is
anywhere.
there, and it can
Yep.
be anyone.
Exactly. And I think that was probably the craziest thing is like you didn't know who it was or it's also kind of like I guess you get kind of equated to like a chest burster or something or like Alien
I,
Predator when you're stuck in a room you're like, oh crap, they're in this guy right here. Crazy. So here's a comment here. Vane 21 says he wants to talk some Jeepers Creepers.
the
Do you
first one
think
was
Jeepers
really good.
Creepers has withstand the test of time?
Considering the fact that they're not remaking it, no. Yeah.
Mm,
But I think the first one was really good. But again, as the sequels went on, they just it you know
yeah,
built
I don't think
on.
it'll be remade. I don't think it will.
But the first one was I thought it was a very decent killer movie.
You know how people go hunting, right? And how they catch a deer and they take the deer to like the taxidermy and
Hmm.
hang him on their wall as a trophy. That's exactly what I did to him right here, man. Right there. I killed him
In Nebraska.
in Nebraska. He was on that Seven Sister Road, man, out there flying around at night one day. Took the shotgun, sawback shotgun pump action, and killed him, man. Now he's right here. So just got the mandibles wide open and stuff, just to show him who's boss. That's not even a statue, man. That's just a real life trophy right there. Just to put that out there.
It wasn't as pale in the movies.
That's what happens when you're dead. That's what happens when you're dead, man. No, all jokes aside, that statue will be getting. I will be sending it off to get repainted sometime. It probably won't happen until next year. Just due to getting stuff paid off, but I will be getting that statue painted and giving it the actual pop that it needs because it's really pretty dull. Keeping it real, pretty dull.
I, I mean, I never knew they made a statue of Jeepers Creepers. It's actually kind of
Hmm.
cool that they did.
Yeah, by a newer company, Hollywood Collectibles Group. They're out of Orlando, Florida, in the United States. And yeah, man, I think they're an okay company. They were actually doing a Michael Myers bust, and they had a Michael Myers exclusive bust that came with the knife. I
Hmm.
ended up actually canceling that though, so I won't bring that home. Um, yeah, I actually
No,
have one more horror character coming in. Should be getting that. I'll of course make a video of that. But that is pretty much it for me with the horror villains this month. And to answer your question, Arch, I actually only have seven. Um, I have one that I actually didn't do a review on. I'm looking to get rid of it. So if anybody is interested, and I'll share this right here. If anyone's interested, there is a Leprechaun right there. If anyone is interested, and I will let it go for extremely, extremely low. Free
There's
shipping.
got there's got to be an Irish one that wants that.
You, a Irish, Jamaican, I don't give a damn, dude. If anyone wants it, I will let it go. Like I said, man, I will definitely let it go, and I will cover shipping, and everything, man. Just trying to, let that one go there, and whatnot. But hey, I do have a question to ask you. This is a
Mm-hmm.
serious question, okay?
Thank you, Joe.
If The Walking Dead, you're familiar with it, right?
Yes, I have all the comics, and I've
Okay.
watched some of the seasons.
So The Walking Dead, if you were in there and there was a particular season, I believe that these are season 1 or season 2, where Shane, he was one of the main characters earlier in the
Mm-hmm.
show.
The Punisher.
Exactly, the Punisher, the best Punisher ever acted, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He had shot a guy named Otis, if I'm not mistaken, so he could get away.
In the knee.
If it's the huh?
Didn't he shoot him in the knee?
In the knee. He shot him in the knee, so the zombie herd would eat him while he got away. Now, if it's life or death, are you doing the same thing, or are you just gonna try to fight them together? It's life or death, man.
And he did make a big snack.
I mean, yeah. Hey, the herd stopped, so that's all that really matters, right?
I don't know. I think I would love to be to completely avoid that situation altogether. But
Hmm.
considering it's The Walking Dead, that's kind of hard. Although, I mean, I just the reason why I stopped watching that show is because how many times can you actually build a wall around the camp without figuring out it's freaking useless to do so? I mean, there's only one character, in my opinion, in the whole Walking Dead that had the right idea. And that's freaking Negan.
Okay, go on. I'm listening. I'm listening. Go on, because I thought you were gonna say a different character. So go on.
I mean, yeah, sure, he beats people with Lucille, but at the end of the day, the group is surviving better than the main group, in my opinion, or at least they did until, uh, I don't know. Just, I think that might be the character I kind of try to be, not the whole, face bashing with a baseball bat, but just, having order.
You know,
So maybe, yeah, I would shoot somebody in the knee then, I suppose.
honestly, dude, if there was anything that any character I could be, it probably would be Daryl. It would be Daryl. I felt that Daryl was a great character, and I felt that Daryl knew how to survive. He knew how to hunt. He knew how to track, and I liked it all that. You know what I'm saying? I felt that that's how you survive, dude. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you survive. You track animals, you hunt them. He all he needed was the bow. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Which is a good
I mean,
weapon.
it's a great weapon. And he was a
Silent.
loner. He didn't talk a lot. Let's go ahead and get to some gore, man.
I mean,
Ooh, look at that face.
I, I don't think I don't think they could have done a better casting job than the comedian.
Damn, 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 man. I love Negan's satire. I'm not gonna lie. I love his satire, man.
Thing
Lucille.
the thing is his group doing so badly?
You, you know what's crazy? Compare Negan to the governor in the earlier seasons. Negan compared to the governor, really? I mean, the governor's idea was kind of like, what the hell you doing? But Negan, I gotta say, I'd go with Negan, man. I'd go with Negan.
If I was in Rick's group, I'd be like, see ya. I'm going with this guy. He knows what he's doing. You're really not. So I never liked Rick. I gotta say, I never like. He's a lot better in the comics.
Yeah, I get you on that one.
The funny thing is that Daryl is not a character in the comics. That's
Are you
kind of it.
serious?
Yeah, he's not.
Wow.
He's made up for the show.
And I heard a lot of the characters actually were supposed to die a lot earlier, such as
Mm-hmm.
damn, what's that guy's name who we just showed getting his face bashed in?
Glenn.
Glenn. Yeah, Glenn was supposed to die a lot earlier, but they didn't because he was a fan favorite.
Exactly. That's my point. That was one of the problems that I had with the show because, yeah,
What's up, Statue Habit 71? Appreciate you being here, man. Dennis Perez says Evil Dead remake is it's his
that
all-time favorite.
hands down, that is an amazing remake.
Evil Dead.
It's obviously, I think the reason why the remake is so great, if it is it a remake? Is it a reboot? I don't know technicalities, but they didn't try to imitate the original one.
Oh, that's the one that came out in 2013 that didn't have
Hmm.
Ash Williams in it, right?
No, no, it's basically set before the whole original Evil Dead.
So answer this for me. Is Cabin in the Woods anything to do with Evil Dead? Because they had the same
No,
book in there.
no.
No.
Cabin in the Woods is actually a really great movie. It has an amazing twist in it.
Great movie. I love the ending, by the way.
But I mean, gotta say the remake, Evil Dead remake, is gory.
Hmm.
It's very, very gory. Um, but yeah, I mean, you cannot imitate a movie like that.
Yeah.
So you just go into the completely different route, and that's what they did, and that just made it great.
Um, Arch says, Cash, are you going to get a Ash statue? You know what's crazy, Arch, as well as Stieven? I actually was looking for that statue. I had it waitlisted, and it actually sold out from Sideshow. The CE as well as the exclusive sold out. So now if I have to get it, it would be on like um you
Aftermarket
know,
stuff.
yeah, aftermarket. And I mean, if somebody, you know how sometimes people will sell their statues for like really low because, they got personal life stuff going on. If I can get like a very good deal, I'll buy it. But
Hmm.
I think right now I'm content because I do have Pumpkinhead coming next year. Um, what else do I have? I'll be getting the Leatherface, and I should also be getting Ghostface by PCS once they reveal that. So if I miss out on Ash, I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
It's taken a long time, by the way, that Ghostface, considering the fact that I mean, it's not
They
that.
announced that before the Leatherface, and it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
what's up? But
I think they
yeah,
announced it the same time with Pumpkinhead and
yep,
Leatherface.
yep, yep,
It's taken them a
yeah.
long time. That's another
Pumpkinhead,
third
DeFranco.
scale thing.
Yeah, but what's crazy though? The Pumpkinhead itself is actually like 27.5 inches
Hmm.
tall, and the Leatherface, the Butcher one, is like about 30.3. So even though it's third scale, when you put the Pumpkinhead next to it, it won't be too bad of a
Mm.
difference. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be okay.
Yeah, if a company steps up and basically becomes the sideshow of nothing but horror, I could see myself changing my collection over time.
Hmm.
But I mean, it gotta be price point. It's gotta be, because, you know, in horror you have Prime One. Prime One does not that much, but they do some horror stuff. But we're talking half scale. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be great to have a half scale Pennywise, but cost wise and space wise, not the best deal.
Yeah, exactly. I actually had almost got that half scale Pennywise, but then I was like, For one, it wouldn't look right in my collection because I don't have any 1/3, so it just would look too much of a difference. And
Mm.
then also, I was just like, you know what? If I ever do get a Pennywise, I would probably want an old school version. Keeping it real, I would want the old school version. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Well, I have the one from Tweeterhead, the one on the
Tweeterhead,
coffin,
the
and
Tweeterhead maquette.
yeah, that's
Um,
actually for the price. It's a pretty great one.
is he holding a balloon in that one? I think, right?
There's a swap out. You can have the balloon, or you can have just a hand, like it actually is in the movie where he does the beep beep.
Yeah.
For the price, I mean, yeah, it's pretty great because like I said, you don't have that many options.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely, man. You really don't have that many options.
Um, like
Ash.
before I actually started collecting comic book statues, I
Hmm.
actually thought about just because horror films are a passion of mine, and then I saw what is out there. I was like, yeah, well, no, we're not doing this
Yeah,
because we're
exactly,
so
bro.
like the half scale,
Um,
the prime one half scale of the nun. Cool looking statue, but
none. I
the
don't
one
think
from
I
the
actually saw
Conjuring.
that one. I didn't see that one. I knew they
Yeah,
were
but
making
she's
a
in.
nun.
Yeah, but she's in the Conjuring as well. Conjuring 2 at
Hmm.
the end
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
painting and
definitely.
all.
Yep, the paint that
They did
classic scene, man.
they did a statue of that.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think Iron
crazy.
Studios did a couple of 1/10s.
Iron Studio has a 1/10. I will be getting their 1/10 Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I do have their 1/10 Freddy, by the way, and I
Yeah.
will be getting their 1/10 Jason. The Nun one I probably will miss out on though, keeping it real.
I mean, it
Um,
wasn't that great of a movie, but it's a great
yeah,
character. But
yeah, character. The movie itself was just kind of off.
mhm.
Yeah, the movie was off. So yeah. If you-
So,
Here's another question for you, man. I'll let you answer this one here.
hmm oh, uh,
Oh, I have a good one actually. I'll let you go first. I have a good one. No one's done it though.
let me think on it.
Oh God.
You go first.
Well, shout out my beautiful fiance. Thank you for watching. um, honestly, I would have to say Candyman with a exclusive swap out, and on the exclusive, I want the knife to be bloody, and I want it to be more of a action pose um, portrait, like maybe screaming or something like that. Is
Hmm.
what I would want it to be. Um, and I would want the base to have like bees around it and maybe like little candy wrappers or something on the base. Like I would really want to think it through if I could get that commission. I think that would be amazing.
And obviously on the chest, uh, it had to be, the whole souls things and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yep, exactly, exactly, man. I didn't watch the new Candyman movie.
Haven't
You know,
watched
so
it yet. No, it's on the list, as are many other films. Um, my choice would be
hmm.
like both of them have their own statues,
Okay,
but
I'm listening.
nobody's done a Freddy versus Jason
Like a Dio.
like a Dio, where you actually see the hand go into Jason and then the machete into Freddy.
Um, so
That is one
that would
I could.
actually be cool because I'm looking at the Spider-Man versus Venom Dio,
Hmm.
and I think that itself would be some. If I'm like kind of comparing it, I think it would go. I
You
think it
could
could go.
you could have like a swap out where Jason is stabbing Freddy with his own hand.
Yep.
sort of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be great. I think.
Yeah. Do you feel like we could ever do, you know how like we have Batman Sanity and Wonder Woman Courage? Do you think we could ever do that with like a Ash versus horror? You know what I mean? Like obviously that didn't happen in the movies or whatever, but like Ash versus Pennywise, et cetera, et cetera.
You could, but there's no company in hell that would do it because too niche of an audience, I think. Certainly, I mean, given the fact that the Wonder Woman is like what, $2,500, something like that.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be as many characters. I mean, it would, let's say Ash versus kind of like like Spider-Man Sinister Six, like Ash versus six other characters. You know what I'm saying? So we would
Mhm.
try to get that cost down from 3,000 down to, let's just say, 1,850. And you
I
could
mean,
you
I
could
would
even pick
hope
smaller characters. You know, somebody smaller like Chucky, um, um, freaking
Pinhead,
damn. I guess
obviously.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I hope somebody would do that, but I don't see it happening. But I mean, it would be a really just even versus statues in itself would be a great thing. But um, or
If
how about they do something like the Iron Studios is doing with the
what do you
whole
mean?
diorama thing, the X-Men,
Oh,
where you could actually have them like because Iron Studios for the longest time they did like just a hexagonal base.
hmm,
It's just I mean it's kind of boring. So, but
yeah.
now with all the X-Men things they do, every little bit has something resembling of a Sentinel on it. So you could put it together. I mean, that would be kind of great. The problem is that you need that one big centerpiece, like the Sentinel, like the actual Sentinel. You need something like that. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. And Vane, it was made by Hollywood Collectible Group. Um, they're the studio, and it was just distributed by Sideshow. Like I said, they're more of a newer company. Like I said, they did a Michael Myers bust. They did a Jeepers Creepers bust. They did a Jeepers Creepers 1/4. If you actually go to Mr. X channel, he actually has their 1/4 Jeepers Creepers. I think he might have sold it by now, but he did do a review for their 1/4 Jeepers Creepers. Yep, Astro just asked it too. Yeah, so again, Hollywood Collectibles Group via Sideshow for the Jeepers Creepers. If I'm not mistaken, it actually is either waitlisted or sold out now. But when you get it, it's pretty dull. So I will be getting a repaint on it. I think once I get it repainted, I'm gonna have a lot of purples and reds in there and make it pop a lot more. But appreciate you being here, Astro. So Steven, I got a different question for you. A different direction, right? Different direction. Um, so out of all the horror characters, out of all the plots, the directors, the twists, the turns, the kills, the near-death experiences, is there any one particular kill that you feel like, you know, it was like, damn, they died like that? Or is there any sort of ending credit that just made you be like, oh crap, they didn't die. There's gonna be another one.
well, favorite kill out of all is Brain Dead, the Peter Jackson movie,
Mm,
the lawnmower scene.
okay. Okay.
I mean, that is hands down the best thing ever anyone has ever come up with, ever. And that guy went on to direct Lord of the Rings. I mean, that in of itself is
Yeah.
mind blowing that they let him do that. Certainly for 3 movies, but I mean, and if you watch Lord of the Rings, you can see it. You can
I've
see
seen I've seen the first one.
sometimes,
I just want to put it out there before people start
sometimes,
commenting. I've seen the first one.
sometimes that little Peter Jackson from earlier comes up again, and he does a couple of little things, and I could just picture him like laughing
Didn't
behind the camera.
Did he do King Kong with Jack Black?
Yep, yep, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Gotcha.
did.
Yeah. Old
Uh,
Jack Black.
but as like end credits, I think like for the final seconds of a movie, I think the best one is still the original Friday the 13th. She's on the boat,
Ooh.
on the lake,
Mm-hmm.
everything's peaceful,
Okay.
and little freaking Jason jumps out of the lake and drags her in. I'm sorry, but I did not see that coming. First time I watched that, I was like, damn, she's not that safe. And then they made
Yeah.
the sequel, and apparently she is. And I'm like, well, that kind of diminishes that. But that's sequels for you.
Yeah. So what I
So, what's your
find
favorite twist in a movie, in a horror film? Favorite twist?
favorite twist of all time is something me and Vane 21 have actually mentioned before. Is when you're watching the original Saw movie.
that
The It's funny.
was
You
that
already know what I'm gonna say.
was
The
yeah.
beginning scene. There's just two things that just will forever ruin it. Number one, the key goes down the drain, so therefore he will never be able to unlock the chains because the
Hmm.
key went down the drain. That's number one. Number two, everything they were trying to do, he was right there laying on the ground, so he heard everything. So the entire movie was for a waste because you couldn't escape, and he heard everything you were even attempting to do, and it was the biggest plot twist ever,
Hmm.
ever, ever. So for me, that was it. I also feel like let's see here in the
Sixth
in the
Sense.
Sixth Sense is another one. Haley Joel Osment, Bruce Willis. Shout out to them, man. Who would have thought that? Like, who would have thought that, man?
And if you go
What
back
the
and you
hell?
watch it, knowing what you know,
Yep.
you still don't see it. You
Yeah,
still
you can
like
watch it to this day, and you're
you
just
never
like,
get the impression.
never, never,
He's
never.
never like M Night has never come close to that
Nope.
kind of a thing again. He did. I mean, for all its flaws, the twist in the village was actually pretty great as well.
Village. Nicole Kidman, right?
No,
No, that's not Nicole Kidman. I see dead people, or no, that's not her.
Nicole Kidman
It's
was in the others.
the others. Yeah, the others. Yeah, that's right.
That's another
Yeah,
good twist.
it is. You know the one I really like. It's not really horror. It's more sci-fi, but I like um Mel Gibson, The Signs. Signs.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, yeah.
That was a
The only
really good one.
the only problem that I have with that movie is like, okay, so the biggest vulnerability of the aliens is water. So you come to the
Yeah.
planet that's 75% water. Not exactly the best idea, was it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really love that movie from start to finish. I mean, for me, that is my favorite alien movie is
Mm,
Signs. I mean, even
mm.
more so than the freaking in the one with Tom Cruise. Damn, I can't think of it. Um, you know the one he has a kid, right? Uh, they like freak is it called? Damn, I can't think of it, man. But yeah, that one with Tom Cruise is a really good one too. Yeah, the freak.
I don't, I'm thinking, and I'm not really. I'm drawing a blank
Uh,
on that one.
yeah,
Is
World
it
of War.
Oblivion? Oh well. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. War,
War of the
War of the
Worlds.
Worlds. War of the
Yeah,
Worlds.
that's right.
Mm.
Couldn't think of it, man. That was a great movie to me, as well. I'm not that big of a Tom Cruise fan myself, far as like the Mission Impossibles. I like Top Gun, of course, but I thought Tom Cruise did a good job in that movie, War of the Worlds.
Like, okay. So next question:
Next question.
I feel this is more like a Q&A
Okay.
than anything. But uh, has there ever been a movie you were watching and you were just going along with it, and then it just not in terms of twist or anything, but just sucker punched you, and you're like, oh, oh, damn. Because I have one, and probably nobody in the chat or anyone has ever seen it, but
Again, it's sci-fi, not horror, but I'm gonna say The Fly. I didn't see that hat coming. Was The Fly, and to
going,
answer Statue Habit 71, The Descent was a great movie. I loved
mm-hmm,
the plot twist and the monsters or whatever the hell they were. I thought they were great too. Down below.
that such a claustrophobic film.
Eh, I mean,
Kind of
but then
sad that
again,
they made a sequel, but yeah.
they the first one was better, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Why the
it's
hell
cool,
would you
man.
go back?
Sometimes you gotta go back, man. I mean, somebody could still be
No,
down there alive.
no.
It's that Shane approach from earlier. Nope, man. I'm not going back to check.
I mean, if you see what they did to people, I don't think anybody was left alive. So,
Yeah.
But for me, my movie that sucker punched me was a movie called Megan is Missing. It's a very obscure movie. No shame in if you haven't heard of it. It's a found footage type of film, and it starts
Oh.
pretty pretty normal in the sense that, as the title says, Megan goes missing. And her friend sort of investigates, sort of,
Hmm.
and at one point, I'm not going to spoil it, but at one point, there's a news broadcast, and they show a picture that the kidnapper sent to the news station of Megan. That wasn't, that wasn't good. That sucker punched me. Just the fact that picture, it's not there's no gore, there's no blood, it's just your mind, it immediately fills in the blanks. And those blanks are better left as blanks. That was heavy. So if anybody ever wants to get sucker punched like that, watch Megan is Missing. If you can
Hmm.
find it. It's not an easy movie to find. But yeah.
Yeah, man. And I actually have this to say as well. So I'll throw this out there, right? All right. So check this out. So you're walking down a road, right? And it's nighttime. Let's just say it's 3 a.m. So it's 3 a.m. You're walking down the road, and you pass by an abandoned house, and the abandoned house of the door slowly creaks, and for whatever reason you stop and you say hello, and there's a voice that says hello back. You walk
I
towards the door. Why would you do that? Because that's what happened in Midnight Mass on Netflix. Why would
why
you
would
do
you
that?
even stop and say hello?
I wouldn't have stopped. And I'm just wondering, like, what's up with horror characters in not thinking logical?
It's human curiosity. Simple as that.
Define curiosity, because curiosity is like wanting to know, but there
Well,
has to be a line.
I think 9 times 9. If you put 100 people in a situation, I think 90 people would actually stop and look.
I'd be curious as to what the hell that was, but dude, I don't know how quick I can run, but I know I'd find out that night, man. That's all I got to say. If I said hello and my same voice said hello back to me in my exact same voice, I'm gonna find out how quick I can run that night. Literally, I'm gonna find out how quick I can run that night, dude. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like seriously, dude. Um,
I mean, again, you're still hoping that just never in that situation to begin with. But
Yeah.
I mean, what's with characters and first of all, not turning on the lights and things like that. I mean, those are classic slasher
Hmm.
tropes that still live on to this day. And I don't know.
Yeah. I would actually have to say the scariest movie of all time that I actually saw, like one that like legitimately scared the crap out of me, was and mistake me if I'm wrong. I can't never mind. I can't remember who the hell the main character was, but it was Amityville Horror, the one that came out in maybe 2003, if I'm not mistaken. That movie that scared. That was the one movie that I could legitimately say from like start to finish, it really scared me. Because
That
Insidious and all them, they had scary parts, but that Amityville Horror, the whole thing was just like that was creepy, man.
that the Walker Rivals.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
creepy,
the,
bro.
the, the whole Amityville thing is it real? Is it not?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Again, that's also a trope in a way. It's like weird stuff is happening. Let's stay nice and cozy here. No, you get out.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
exactly.
Get out. Kind of like paranormal activity. Oh, the chandelier is swinging. Oh, guess that's nothing. No, it's not nothing. Something is here. You get out. Unless it's a demon and it follows you, but it's a whole different discussion. But
Well, and that's the thing with those movies is, they told them it didn't matter where you went because just the energy itself was attached to you. So therefore,
hmm
it didn't matter if you moved because it had been on them since they were little girls, supposedly on
hmm
both the sisters.
yeah, first it
Um,
was on the younger, and then it
yeah.
transferred itself to Katie. Those were good movies, by the way. But
Were those real, by the way? Like though that first one, of course.
what do you mean?
Like that wasn't real, right? Like the freak they were marketing as if it was real.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
because
It's just
at that time, like a lot of people thought it was real, including me. I'm like, is this crap real? Because like crazy thing about it is the whole time people were jumping and I'm laughing because I thought it was funny because her boyfriend was so sarcastic the whole time.
it
He's
was a
just
dick.
like, I mean,
It was
he was just skeptical, dude. He was skeptical.
yeah, but I mean, even if you don't believe in it, even if you're skeptical, first of all, don't antagonize it. Just in case it's
That's
real,
true. That's true.
don't
Yeah.
antagonize it. And your girlfriend's obviously kind of freaked out. Maybe your sarcasm isn't helping.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
still, that movie is, I think, the best commercial success ever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true, man. And they, followed it up with a couple others. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Because it was made, I think, on a budget for like $25,000 or something like that, which is
Yeah.
nothing.
Not heard of. Definitely not heard of.
And it made so many millions. And it was basically just the director, his wife, or his girlfriend or fiance, I don't know, and a friend of them,
Hmm.
and that was it. And they filmed it at his house.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's almost like a sitcom. You don't really need a lot of locations. You just need a camera and a couple people and a house and you know.
But what you said about thinking it was real, that actually something like that happened in the UK with a movie, Ghostwatch. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Nope.
They basically filmed it and made it like it was a live broadcast on the UK TV. So you had people
Damn.
calling in. But this was you have to place it in the time where now if you see something on TV like that, you go to Twitter, you go to Google. It's you instantaneously search for it, and you immediately know it's fake or not. But back
Right.
then you didn't have that. So many people were convinced that that broadcast was actually a haunted house.
Damn, that's
And
crazy.
the same thing happened when the original radio broadcast happened of the War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
Because I mean, how do you know that this is not happening somewhere in the country? How do you know? You don't.
yeah, yeah. You don't, dude. You don't.
Sadly, you can't do anything like that anymore. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's true, man. So kind of going back to earlier, do you feel that, especially scary movies, do you feel that those franchises sometimes get ruined? Um, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
because they like kind of drag them out sometimes.
of course. Um, like Paranormal Activity is a prime example of that. I mean, did it need all those movies? No. I mean, you told the story in like the first two. I mean, this
Hmm.
I could understand the sequel because then you
Yeah.
show the sister. You sort of side of the sister, and it sort of interconnected with the first one.
Yep. Yep.
But everything that came after, certainly that last one. I mean, come on, that was so unnecessary. And same thing with Jason. I mean, in the beginning, Jason was the guy. There was a guy with a hockey mask, and he was pissed off.
Yep.
And was it from six where he got hit with lightning? He became the Hulk basically.
Yeah. The only one I didn't really like was the one where he was in space because it was just kind of
Jason
like
X. That was funny.
it was a good watch, but it was one of those ones I was just like, what are we doing here? Man, as a
Basically,
kid, I still remember where my favorite part was, but I think you guys know from what I said earlier. I won't repeat it again. So yeah. Um so we had Freddy versus Jason. Is there two other franchises you would like to see team up in a one-on-one, so to say?
Ash versus the Cenobites.
Why Ash? Because he's a
Because it
killer?
fits. Well, it
It
fits,
fits. Yeah.
sort of. I mean, if you're gonna put Ash against something, I mean, it's got to be something from hell, right? So who better than Pinhead and the rest of them?
Yeah, true.
And that was actually the point at some time to have more versus films, but because commercially Freddy vs. Jason didn't do that well, they
You don't
canned
think
that
so?
idea. No, it didn't. It didn't really do that great.
It wasn't bad to me though. Like I got what Freddie was trying to do. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
he was
It's
using
not a bad movie
Jason, you know?
to scare people, and I
Yeah.
mean, it would work, but um, no, it just didn't do well commercially. But sometimes studios have a little bit too high of an expectation to.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that sadly, I mean, I know that at one point Ash and Pinhead were brought up to be candidates. Are there others? I mean, yeah, Michael Myers is a good example, but the problem is you cannot have Jason and Michael Myers in it because it will be a silent movie.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I never actually thought about that. Freddie really carried it because of the
Yeah,
talking. Damn,
and
I never thought about that, dude.
they dialed. Actually, this is something I
Hmm.
really appreciate about Freddy vs. Jason. They dialed back the wisecracking. Like, okay, Freddy's always been a wisecracker, but towards the end of the sequels, it was getting silly. Like at one point, he was on a broom, he had a witch's hat on. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just done.
So even though because these two characters are small, would you want to see a Leprechaun versus Chucky, or would that just be like too ridiculous?
It'd be funny, but I don't think funny would be. I mean, where's the scary element in it? To be fair, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, you no,
uh,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That wouldn't
you could
work.
have you could have Chucky and what is it, the puppet master, those little
Ooh,
doll things.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
You could have it like somebody Besides, Charles Lee wants to do that incantation, but he doesn't like that, so he goes after them. Could work.
Possibly so. I mean, possibly so. You know, I mean, I feel like, out of all the horror movies that I've ever seen, one I've never watched myself or one I would never watch is probably the Exorcist one. That's one I've never watched myself.
You ever seen The Exorcist?
Never once saw it. Never once saw it, and I don't think I will be seeing it. That's just one, like, cause like I used to have this street, right, and I would go up the street, and it had that, like, all the other street lights for whatever reason they wouldn't work, and it was this one street light itself that would work, and it would just come
the,
on by itself, and it
the
would just
classic
reminded
shot.
me of that movie exactly. So I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not watching this.
I mean, it's it's a miracle that movie got made in that time because damn,
Yeah.
it's something.
Yeah. So what type of horror movies do you like more? Do you like more demonic possessions, more what I mean, more hey, slasher, they're trying to get away, kind of like Ghostface.
I'll always probably say that I have a couple of movies to watch and I want to pick one. Will probably be something demonic over the slasher because I mean, like I said, I've watched quite a couple of movies. Slashers are always the same.
I mean, but they're so like timeless though, you know what I mean?
I mean, they're entertaining, but I mean, don't get me wrong. There have been like I don't know if you ever seen Maniac with Elijah Wood.
Hmm.
That's a very good movie because it's it does it a little bit different, and
Yeah.
the way it's shot and the music does a lot as well in films. But yeah, demonic possession is something because there's always that thing, is this something that actually happens or not?
Yeah, that's true there, man. That's true there. It's always
I
that
mean, if
fine
it's
line.
if it's not real, then why does the Vatican actually does have people who are trained in exorcism? If it's not real, then why would you have people who are trained in it?
Ooh,
Why
that's a good point. That's a
why
good point.
why are there documented cases that because there are certain criteria, and this is said in a lot of demonic, but it's actually true. There are certain criteria that you have to sort of go through, and then the
Hmm.
Vatican recognizes it as an actual possession. And there have been cases where it actually has been. So if it's not real, yeah, but then you go into a whole discussion like, well, if the devil's real, then God's real, and if this is real, then yeah. So yeah, at the
Hey,
end of the day, it's still a movie. So
if
I mean,
anything happens, damn it, I want John Constantine. If anything happens, man, that's what I want on my corner, dude.
I think everybody could use a John Constantine in this corner,
Definitely, definitely.
given any situation, doesn't matter. Well, then again, you could also use Batman, but he's not that handy.
Isn't that crazy that Constantine is a DC character, but based off the movie that they put out, you never would have knew? Like,
Mm,
you never would have known that? Like,
it
that's
was
so
it was
crazy.
never it was never marketed as a comic book movie because that was a time where comic book movies were not as they are now.
Right. Right. Yeah. I wouldn't actually mind seeing. I don't want to say a well. Would it be considered a remake if that movie came out like 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Or would it be considered like another iteration
It's just an
if we could still
iteration. I
use the
mean,
same character?
if so, then I mean, our upcoming The Batman is in a remake of '66 Batman. I mean, you know, uh, I think it's just an iteration. And besides, I mean, how it's been so long since I've seen that movie, but from what I know of John Constantine, the comics is not that, there are not that many similarities.
No, I mean, legitimately,
you muted?
Crap, my bad, man. Yeah, so
I was
essentially
like,
what I was saying was, you know, basically he's the male version of Zatanna. You know, he has dark magic powers. Uh, a reluctant member of the Justice League. You know, things like that. I mean, you know,
if if they do it, then they gotta do Justice League Dark.
they've done it in the animated movie, but they've never done it live action. So
Yeah, but the animated movies are hit and miss most of the time. Um,
I actually really enjoy the animated DC movies. I think you know they're really good. You never see Marvel with any of them. You know, Marvel
no,
has the cartoons, of course, old school
and
cartoons, but
there are good ones. There really are good ones. The Long Halloween adaptation, the animated adaptation, was really
I,
good.
I haven't seen that one there.
That was really good. Um,
Yeah,
they messed up the Killing Joke, but I knew they would.
yeah. I really liked it. The Batman gas lamp.
Mm,
I thought that
hmm
one was really cool. You know, I thought that was a really good one there. Really
Yep.
good one.
Um,
So when it comes to Joker, sweet, you know, since we're on Batman, when it comes to Joker, who's the greatest Joker actor of all time? All the way back to Adam West's Batman. From then to now, who is the greatest Joker actor of all
Ledger,
time?
Ledger, simple as that. Heath Ledger.
My man, my man. I agree. I agree.
With
And don't get me wrong, Jack is a close second. I mean, a close second, but it has got to be Ledger, man. Has got to be.
considering I own statue of Joaquin Phoenix, I mean,
Yeah. He
again, I never considered Joker as a comic book movie,
no. You
but
know what's crazy about that, dude? A lot of people were mad at Heath Ledger back then, and not to get into any like type of um, you know, I don't want to say political or any type of people's, you know, whatever, but a lot of people were like, "Damn, dude, you did Brokeback Mountain." You know what I'm saying? And because of Brokeback Mountain came out a few years prior
mhm.
than the Joker itself in the movie. There is people who are like, yeah, I'd never watched Heath Ledger's like that because he did Brokeback Mountain. But then when that movie came out, oh, it was like he was forgiven. Like he did such a good job. They forgave Brokeback Mountain and they forgot about Jack. Unless you're a real Batman fan, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal was in Brokeback Mountain. I'll watch every movie Jake Gyllenhaal is in.
Hey,
Just, uh,
Mysterio, and Spider Man.
I mean, and so many other great roles.
Yep.
I think I haven't seen Brokeback Mountain because it doesn't seem like a movie I would enjoy in the sense that uh, I don't I don't like drama movies. But if you're gonna discredit an actor for one role that they took, I don't know. I mean, you can say the same thing about Robert Patterson and Twilight.
I mean, I I get your point. However, you got to think, man. Twilight is kind of like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I mean, it has a cult like following, dude. Like there is people, you know, Team Edward, Team Jacob,
Team
like
Bella.
Twilight.
Team Bella. Yay. Oh
Yeah,
God.
Twilight has a following, dude. Um,
Yeah, but the Batman with
yeah.
sparkles. I don't know. It's just
I mean, yeah, sparkling vampires. Come on now, but I mean, you know, I was like, what the freak, dude? So you don't burn in the sun, you just sparkle?
exactly.
What type of Disney
Um,
crap is this?
man, I actually made the mistake of reading the first book.
Oh
That's
man.
time I'll never get back. But I mean, I think a lot of people just don't see that actors evolve. I mean, how many years ago did Twilight came out? It's been,
Ooh, that might have been
see now me and Archer are gonna have a
12.
fight.
Yeah, that might have been it. That was a while ago, dude.
I mean,
Twilight
they
came out a
can't.
while ago.
And I'm sorry, but James Patterson did it. Robert Patterson, sorry, James Patterson's a writer. He did a lot of great roles, and I know Arch doesn't like Lighthouse. I freaking adore the movie Lighthouse, but he did Cosmopolis, really great
Uh,
movie.
Hemlock
He's a
Grove, he
great,
did.
he's a great actor, and he's gonna kill the role
Yeah.
of Batman. But
He is a great actor. I liked him in Hemlock Grove. A lot of people also don't know, if I'm not mistaken. I think his brother played as Eric in True Blood, if I'm not mistaken.
hmm,
So
so
yeah, I think it is his brother who played in True Blood.
speaking of Batman, Bale, Patterson, or Keaton, or Adam West,
Or Clooney, right? We can't forget Clooney.
or Kilmer.
No, we definitely won't throw in Clooney or Kilmer. I mean, we won't do that. Damn, that's a tough question. I'm gonna actually say either Adam West, because of so many people grew up with that.
Mm,
So I'm just gonna throw that in there, just because, I mean, when you think of Batman, I mean, that's one of the first names you even think of, whether you like it because it's so old
hmm
sounding or whatever. So I gotta say Adam West as a 1B. But my 1A, for me personally, I'm gonna let you go first, bro. I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna let you go
Keaton,
first.
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton. No, I think I don't know who brought it up uh, in another show, but I did not like Bale, his voice.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's a problem that you always have with the same with Spider-Man and
Hmm.
Batman. It's like either you have a great uh, Bruce Wayne or you have a great Batman. You have a good Peter Parker, you have a good Spider-Man. Seems obviously we forgot Affleck.
Yeah, we did forget Affleck, but I will have to agree with Danny Lee. It's definitely Kevin Conroy, Batman animated, bro.
Yeah, it's
I
sad.
gotta throw Kevin Conroy in there. But to be real, if you want to be honest about it, I feel Bruce Wayne himself was played best by Affleck. Bruce Wayne, the character,
Yeah, the
by
smirk.
Affleck. Batman was played better by Bell. Not how he sounded, but like if they took away that dumb voice, but if you get what I'm
He
saying.
he did threw a lot of himself into that role.
Hmm.
But yeah, Affleck had the smirk, which was exactly like in the animated series. That was awesome. Um, to that extent, you can say that maybe Mark Hamill was the best Joker.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Kevin
Mark
Conroy,
Hamill.
I, it's whenever I see a DC animated movie, and I immediately go look who does the voice of Batman, and these days it's almost never Kevin Conroy anymore, which kind of saddens me because yeah, he does the best voice acting Batman out of
He,
everyone.
yeah, he does do the best. The best voices. I know he's gonna be doing. He does a Mirror Man for Masters of the Universe, like the new one that came out.
And he also did, of course, the Arkham games. He
Yep,
did
he did the
Batman for all
Arkham.
of them,
Yep,
which
as well as
is that was brilliant.
Injustice.
Yep, that was brilliant that they did that. Which is
Hmm.
strange that they didn't give him the role in the Injustice movie.
They didn't.
No,
Did that just come out, by the way?
yeah, that just came out.
I have to check that out. I have to check that out.
But yeah, it's just this is the same gripe that I have with the What If series. They didn't get everyone.
I mean, You couldn't have got Chadwick Boseman because obviously,
Uh,
we all know
Chadwick,
that. But
Chad, every episode that T'Challa is in, that is Chadwick Boseman. He recorded his lines before he
are you
died.
fucking serious?
He was the first actor to sign on
Wow, I did not
because
even know that.
he was like, this is sort of the final goodbye to T'Challa. He immediately jumped on that, and it's like,
Well, is it because he knew he was maybe gonna
yeah,
pass away,
he
or
knew he. I think he. I don't know how long he was sick, but certainly during the filming of Endgame and Infinity War, he knew.
yeah?
And when they pitched the idea of the What If series, he immediately jumped on it and recorded his lines.
So he was the only one who did.
No, uh, Chris Hemsworth is in it
He did.
as Thor.
Okay.
They got uh, Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter.
Okay.
I can understand that they didn't get Scarlett Johansson because, well, yeah, she's not on really good terms with Disney at the moment. So, but I mean, I can't understand that they didn't get Downey and Chris Evans. I mean, I don't get it. It can't be a budget thing. It's Disney.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Do you want to see a dark movie? Like, do you want the newest Doctor Strange that they're, gonna do sometime here in the next year or so? Because that's supposed to be rated R, they're saying. Do you want a darker,
Yeah.
like, horror
Hmm.
type superhero?
Yeah, and that is why I know for a fact that I'll not enjoy Carnage as I would have if it was R-rated. I mean, look at Deadpool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that character
Yeah.
as anything different than he is in that film?
No. No.
Look at Logan.
Logan was perfect.
Exactly.
Logan was
Logan was
perfect.
R-rated.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but the Force scene when he becomes the Wolverine for the final time, that is
Mhm.
hands down one of the best scenes ever created in movies.
Yeah. I do feel like we are gonna get that same feel from Patterson in terms of
Mm,
from that trailer.
yeah,
I think it's gonna be a lot darker than we've seen in a long time.
and I mean, Suicide Squad was R-rated. The new one,
Suicide Squad was, yeah.
good movie,
I love who
freaking
they
good
have
movie.
playing Harley. I want them to bring Will Smith back to play his character.
I understand why they didn't. I mean, I I love Will Smith,
Hmm.
but the problem is if you cast Will Smith, you get a Will Smith movie. He
He
sort
has
of
to be the star.
dominates. He
Yeah.
dominates everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, but Idris is a very good actor too, though. I mean, I'd put
He
him on
did
that same level.
he did perfectly.
Yeah.
Um, but I would love for them to go a bit more. It doesn't mean that every movie has to be R-rated. You know, it's still Marvel. Not all the comics are. Barely any of the comics are. But yeah, I would love for them to go a bit darker and a bit more.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy with the characters we have, in horror films as well as in comics and stuff like that. I would love to see because I know they're redoing Ghostbusters and it has I think doesn't it have some of the kids from Stranger Things in it?
Hmm. Yeah.
Now, from the trailer I saw, it looks. I love the concept. Hey, it's one of the kids' grandpa. He
Oh,
left them the
I'm very
car.
excited.
Oh, very excited. Very excited. Would you ever want to see a Ghostbusters turn horror, or no? Because of it's like sci-fi comedy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you could basically pose that question for something like the Ninja Turtles. Because if you look at the
Mm,
early comics, the black and white comics, they didn't give a damn. They, I mean, they went out. They went all
yeah.
out.
Yep.
And to be fair, the 1990 movie, it was dark, and parents complained. So I think if you do that with Ghostbusters, parents
It's
are
that
going to
90s
complain.
stuff, man.
But, and that's why the sequel to Ninja Turtle was a lot more lighthearted. It's a lot more comedy. And I think if you do that with Ghostbusters, I would watch, definitely would
Yeah.
watch it. But I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of people would probably go in thinking that they're going to watch, you know, horror slash comedy. And yeah,
Yeah, I agree,
I don't
man.
think, I don't think the studio wants to really take the risk.
No, dude, no. I think I agree, and I feel like with the generational tides, you don't have the same like what do you call it, the war on video games and
Hmm.
stuff like that's where, oh, don't let your kids play these games and don't let the kids see these movies and kids sneaking in like I
I,
don't
I
even know.
turn, I turned out fine.
So you're fine with that?
No, I said I turned out fine playing video games and watching horror films. I mean,
Yeah, man. It's crazy because like I'll be thinking like I remember playing like Call of Duty. This is years back when I was playing Call of Duty online, dude. And it was this kid. He was like, he said something about Vaseline, and he's like, we were killing him and stuff like that. And he kept coming back to the game, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna take some Vaseline and ram it up, you guys. And we're like, what the freak, man? Why ain't you in school, dude? And it's just stuff like that that shows like, dude, kids are just online having fun and stuff. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Um, I just
where's
feel like
that
it's a
kid now? Where is that kid
yeah.
now?
I don't know, man. Somewhere in
It's
Alabama, I would assume,
look,
man.
the the thing is, when I was like 8 years old, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the
Excellent
first
movie though.
movie.
Nothing's wrong with
That's
it.
that's the first horror film that I watched. I play video games. I play violent video games. And you know what? My parents sat me down and they said, "This is not. This is real. This is not." They
Yeah, yeah,
educated. That's all it is. And if you see that your child is easily influenced by such things, then you indeed have to take some precautions to that.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, you have to keep an eye on what they do and what they say. Uh, but to immediately say, look, we have to ban this and we have to ban that. I mean, come on. It's the same thing that happened after Columbine. You know,
yeah,
everything was fine. Well, in the spirit of things, everything was, and then they found Marilyn Manson CDs. Well, that's got to be it. Come on,
yeah, dude.
really?
That's crazy. Like, here in Alabama. Here, I almost said fucking Alabama. Me in the chats, dude. Here in Nebraska, we have a notorious killer who's actually still alive and reportedly has killed 17 people and has a sadistic like family and stuff like that, to where they've all like done stuff. And I find it crazy on some like not necessarily like Charles Manson type stuff, kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer, dude. And I guess this will be like one of the last topics here. Out of all the real life people, not movie related, but just what do you find to be the most scary for that time, or even today, or even like, damn, that really happened? I mean, for me, I would have to say Jeffrey Dahmer myself. I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Stephen. I don't think Charles Manson. Okay, this is gonna come off wrong, so just like hear what I'm saying. He technically didn't do anything. Like if we want to be
He made others.
technical,
He
he
made
didn't
others do
do
things.
anything.
That's he was basically the leader of a cult.
Yeah, but he never actually hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He had others do it for him, so that's, I mean, doesn't technically make you a
I'm
standard
not saying it's
citizen.
right, but I'm saying
But
from the eyes of the law.
I I would I would say Ted Bundy,
Ooh,
because
okay.
the thing is, if you see an interview with Chucky Manson,
Yeah,
you could, I mean, you don't need to be a psychologist to say that guy is not right.
yeah,
Problem
yeah,
is, if you have somebody like Bundy and you see him in an interview and he's just talking normally, you'd be like, why is that man in prison? Look at him.
yeah,
Look, he's extremely well mannered. He's well spoken. What's wrong with him? Oh, he killed so many people. Okay, that's wrong with him.
yeah.
I mean, and I don't know if you watch any things like or listen to podcasts about true crime and stuff like that.
Yep, here and there. Yep.
That's to me that stuff is scarier than any horror film you could watch because I mean that's just real life. That stuff happens, and yeah,
Yeah, dude.
no matter
I,
no matter what they come up in the movies, real life will always be scarier.
yeah, real life would definitely be scary because, like, even with the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, it's like, dude,
Mm.
that was like, what the freak, man?
Mm.
That's crazy, dude. It's
And
freaking crazy.
I don't know his can't remember his name, but like this guy who basically wherever he lived, he killed his neighbor, and at one point he killed the at that point girlfriend of
It's fucking Google it.
Ashton Kutcher, the guy from that '70s show, and
Killer who killed neighbors. Let's see here. That's just crazy. Son of Sam?
I don't know,
John Christie?
can't I don't know, I can't remember the name. Maybe somebody in the chat knows, but um,
Bro.
it's like yeah, he basically, and at one point Ashton came to uh, his girlfriend's house because I think he came from like an award show or something like that. I don't know, or at least a party, and he thought that there was wine stains on the carpet. It was actually the blood of his at that time girlfriend, and he was killed by
Damn.
that guy. They actually testified against him and everything. So I mean, you know, real life is always worse.
Man, real life definitely is always worse, dude. So, last thing for you, is there anything you'd like to just say, man? Just, when you think of horror, what does horror mean to you?
Um, First and foremost, as wrong as that sounds, entertainment. Um,
Oh, that's funny, dude.
I mean,
Entertainment.
what is a movie? Entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I, what I'm currently loving is the fact that there's this new wave of directors coming and that they don't
Yeah.
just do the slasher films. They don't just do what they do. They do movies like Hereditary and Midsommar, and that's art to me. Just how those movies are. That's just beautiful art, and that's what horror films can be if they want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it also taught me that never break down on the dirt road.
Yeah.
Never, but I don't know. I think horror films are also a little bit of a human study because like I often find that every director puts a little bit of his own demons and his own struggles with certain fears into those movies. Prime example is a movie called Eraserhead.
Never heard of
If
it.
you have, oh, that is a very disturbing movie. It's by David Lynch, actually. It's one of his first movies, I think. And he's basically, he made that movie because he was afraid of becoming a father.
Wow.
and that's what that movie is about. And yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe you can find something for yourself in a movie because everybody struggles with something. Everybody's afraid of something. They may not say it, but they are. So yeah, entertainment and confrontation, I suppose, and taboo breakers. Horror films are great taboo breakers.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Um, I would have to say like the one thing that I take away is definitely entertainment. Um, and also trying to guess like sometimes I even do this. I'm like, who's gonna live the longest? You know what I'm saying? And or I'm like, no, that character doesn't seem like he's gonna make it. I don't
The
know why I
smart,
find myself doing that.
the smart one.
Yeah. Like, dude, think about a cabin when you go back to that movie Cabin in the Woods. You couldn't have told me he was gonna be the one that lives.
Yep. And
Like
that's
you
what makes
you couldn't
a
have
good
said
movie.
that.
Because if you watch like the original Halloween, you know Laurie Strode's going to be the final one.
Yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah,
know
yeah.
so many other movies like, okay, she sleeps around, so she's going to get killed.
Yep.
In a lot of movies, sadly, he's a black guy. He's going to get it.
Dude,
He's the
the
Asian
black
guy.
guy and the whore always.
He's the first one,
Oh man.
or the Asian one.
Or the Asian guy, yep.
And like a lot of times, it's like she's a lesbian. She's going to get it because she's different. So she's got to go. And it's always like the quiet, nerdy one that
Yep.
lives. And
Yeah.
sometimes she's the first one. You're like, oh shit, what the hell's going to happen now?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So essentially, if we've learned anything from this spooktacular horror special, is directors keep doing what you're doing, keep giving us that scary stuff, and also let's bring back some 80s uh um satire. We'll call it satire if you know what I mean. Let's put it back in the movies, you guys. Like, you know that opening scene. You know what I'm saying? You remember that opening scene on Final Destination where the chick is holding the guy on the biker behind, and she does her thing. Bring it back, man. Bring it back. That's all I'm saying, man. That's what horror is all about. You know what I'm saying? Somebody getting killed, somebody showing a pair of oranges, and you know what I mean? All about the fruit, the vitamin C, man, the vitamin C.
OD.
Or D. I do want to say I appreciate everybody being here. From start, those of you who did stay on from start to finish, I certainly appreciate it, man. Everybody's showing love. We just wanted to talk a little bit of horror stuff with you guys. So it's definitely been a blast. Outside of statues, horror is some of the favorite stuff for me. I'm kind of on that mixed line between horror and sci-fi myself. But it's been a pleasure, Steven. I appreciate you spending the 2 hours with me, bro.
I loved every minute of it.
Yep. All right, guys, leave in the comment section down below if you could for me. What is your favorite horror movie of all time? And also leave in the comment section down below if there is one movie you would like to see remade. What would it be? Would you use the same actors if it hasn't been too much time, or leave down there below what actor you would pick to play that legendary role. It's been real, everybody. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Once we do hit 250 subscribers, actually, that's our next milestone. Not too far from there. Once we hit that 250,000, not 250,000. I'm like going off. Once we hit 250 subscribers, I will give away this Pennywise drawing here. Solo layout. There we have it. Pennywise drawing will be given away at 250 subs. So once we hit that milestone, I will ship that away for free. Like I always say, if you're in the US, we'll get it to you for free. If you are international, all I do is ask that you pay for shipping. Yeah, that's everything I have, man. And we are out. Stay spooky, my friends. Stay spooky.